It's the lovely pleasure. It's the lovely pleasure.
Hello, you're welcome to the show where all we love to do is to celebrate men and women who are giving back to their society. We're still in the city of Jos, meeting with wonderful people who are making great impact in their society. After the break, you'll be meeting with a dynamic man who is working so hard under or behind the mask to make Plateau State a better place to live in.
It's the lovely pleasure.
What up, Africa? What up, Lagos? They call me VJ Adams, the king of talk. My name is Jimmy Agbaje. What's up, people? My name is Nosa.
My name is Bruno.
Want y'all to keep watching.
Keep watching. You can inspire someone. You can be a blessing to someone.
It's a show that is worth watching. You learn. It's about impacting on people's lives.
Keep watching this show.
The Lovely Claire Show.
It's the lovely pleasure.
You're welcome back. My guest on the show is a man with so many qualifications that if I were to start reading them, we won't leave this place today. He's a Plateau-born Indogene. He's held various positions working with the government. He's retired and he's the co-founder of the Jos Business School. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Mr. Ezekiel Gomos.
Thank you.
Sir, you're welcome on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. I know you're a man with a very busy schedule, and you hardly do this, and that you've done it for us today. I'm very glad. I'm pleased to have you.
I'm pleased to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now tell me, who is Ezekiel Gomos?
Well, you've said it. I've worked in many places. I've been a private sector man before I joined the government. I was born in Pangshin, Plateau State, and I went to school in Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, but I went to England to do my postgraduate studies. I went to the USA to do my postgraduate studies. Came back and I've been working in Nigeria I worked in Nigeria for several years before I retired at the age of 49. So I've been a retired person for several years now. But I retired very early because I wanted to give back my qualifications to society.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now concerning the Jos Business School, can you talk to us about the Jos Business School, why you had to retire? I mean, holding the kind of position in government, you were actually high up there. You retired to confront the Jos Business School. Why?
Well, I felt that one of the things lacking in our society today is leadership. We need to build leadership in all for society, whether it's at business level or public sector level. And I felt one of the ways to do that is to groom the next generation of leaders who will begin to deploy these skills and change society in various ways. So one of the things, since God has given me an opportunity to be experienced and to go to so many schools and to learn leadership skills from so many people, I felt that I should give back that experience through establishing a school of that nature so that we can groom the next generation of leaders that will lead our society. We have three components of the school. We have the entrepreneurship training, and we take that as a very serious challenge in this environment. I come from Plateau, like you rightly said, and Plateau is one of the states in the Middle Belt where entrepreneurial culture is lacking. People depend on government a lot, and people also look up to relations for help. A lot of self-reliance is not there. So we feel that through entrepreneurial training, we can instill self-reliance, being on their own, so that people can take up the challenge. God has given us so much in this state. They can take these things and convert them into businesses that they can use to run their life. So that's the first component. We do entrepreneurial training. We also do, like I said, leadership and management training for organizations and for individuals who want to master the challenges of our changing world, who want to be able to move their businesses or their lives forward in terms of competencies, in terms of problem solving, in terms of challenges and creativity. Well, there's a third component, which is ICT. We started being we were one of the strongest ISPs in the state, and we still deploy ITC, especially ICT in schools. We train young people to become computer literate. We train people who are not ICT compliant to become computer literate. Right.
Before we take more questions regarding Jos Business School, I'd like for us to see the clip of what a few people have to say about you.
It's the lovely pleasure.
Hi, I wish he's my father. Because he's a very principled man, as I rightly said. He would mentor you tell you the right thing to do. Because I can remember there was a certain time that he asked me to do something while the person, because I'm being attached to account department, my boss in the my director in the account department asked me to do something while he now sent for me. So and I told the person, and when I went out, he said, we are doing something outside. He said, what am I doing in the office? I said, okay, Mr. Peter asked me to do something. He said, no, that I should go and do. He now directed me to go and do something. And I sent somebody to come and tell Mr. Peter that, okay, Oga said I should go and do another thing. Not knowing that since he's the CEO, whatever he said is the final. I'm supposed to do whatever he asked me to do. So later on, he now called me to his office that, no, he is the final person, that whatever he said we should do, we should do. I should not compromise it for any other work. Whatever he wants me to do, whatever I'm doing, I should stop it and do that thing. So since that day, I've learned much about it, that whatever your director asks you to do, you just have to do that thing.
The MD of this organization, I like him for one thing, and I will always appreciate him for one thing, that for the period I've stayed with him, I have gained a lot of experience based on the kind of the work environment he has provided, and the kind of business he owns, and the kind of the way he handles his activities. I have learned a lot of things, and for the rest of my life, the experience I have gained with him, for the rest of my life, I will leave me to forget him about it, and that will be, that will continue to be an asset that nobody can take it away from me. This is an asset that was bestowed on me from him. So I am so much grateful for working with somebody like Mr. Ezekiel Gomos, however.
Well, I see him to be a father. I know how I got to meet him actually. I was there and I was still looking for admission. I just finished my secondary school and then I was applying for CHAM. I applied, I think I wrote the exams 2 times. And then I got a reasonable point. I made 241 points. The first jam I wrote, the second jam I wrote, I made 234 points. But then it was a challenge securing admission. So actually somebody advised me to go around and then see people, because if it's based on merit, as in I have what it takes to secure an admission to the university. So since as in the OT was not working, I approached him. Was advised to see him. So on meeting him, I showed him my score, jam points and all of that, and he saw the score and then he was surprised to say, with this kind of score, and then as in I'm yet to secure admission. So actually he intervened and then he helped me actually. His kind of heart, he's somebody who cares, like I said, as in he's a father and then a mentor also. When I finished and I came here, as in I approached him and then he told me to apply, apply for internship in just business school. So that's how I started. And then I think from day to day, as in I've been learning from him. And personally I think that as in he's a mentor that the younger generation should learn from.
Sir, I want to use this opportunity to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and serve in this place. And it has really improved whatever that I'm going to do in life. I say thank you, and may God continue to bless you, because you are really impacting good things in people. And I wish other people have the opportunity that I have, so that they too will learn and gain more.
Sir, I won't say that plateau people, the plateau man, the plateau woman and all of that, they all need you, because you are there to provide that training for leaders, for organizations, to better equip them to function in their different areas, and to help them build capacity for effective leadership in the organizations. And Nigeria also needs you, and I pray that God will preserve you, and that God will continue to give you more wisdom, more strength and more grace in this particular responsibility. It's all about nation building. And that's the tax that is saddled upon you and upon others. And I pray that God will help you fulfill your passion and your dream for Nigeria.
It's the Lovely Clash Show.
You're welcome back. Fantastic. Beautiful things, your stuff. had to say about you then. Tell me about the entrepreneurial training and what does the students stand to gain after the training, the training school?
Right. We look at three aspects of entrepreneurship training. We look at first the life skills. We have to impart people with life skills about managing their lives, because people can be very good at technical vocational skills, but they might be hopeless in managing their lives in terms of time management, in terms of relating with others, in terms of also keeping to priority selection. And all those issues, we tackle them in entrepreneurship training. Secondly, we also do business skills training, issues like marketing, business plan preparation, accounting and bookkeeping, issues like managing other staff when you're recruiting staff. These are aspects of entrepreneurship. And finally, we look at the competencies. There's the physical, the skills somebody has to use. If someone is good at, say, photography, he might not be good as a business person. So he might be technically good. He might be good as a photographer, but might be hopeless as a business person. So, or somebody is good at tailoring. He might not be a good business person. He might make all the money, but he might not be able to keep the money. So we look at all this as a combination, as a package, and then we deliver it. We don't deliver it to a crowd. We deliver it to individuals. We select a few individuals and train them and let them be on their own. And then we also mentor. After somebody's been trained and has started a business, he can come back and say, look, come and have a look at what I'm doing. Am I doing it right? And also because I'm a mentor of the UWIN program, the federal government UWIN program. So many of the winners of the UWIN, I also mentor them. If they're running a business and they want me to come and drop in once a month to discuss with them challenges, what they're doing right, what they're not doing right, we're able to do that. Yes.
These students that come to the school, are they, at what level? Are they already workers somewhere, or are they already in business, this kind of business? Or you can have a student who isn't doing anything. I mean, an individual who isn't doing anything but comes to the school because he wants to learn something.
Yeah, basically, to be an entrepreneur, you have to have some basic knowledge. I always tell people that if you're not literate, for instance, you might just be a business person, but to be a real entrepreneur thinking, you have to be a bit literate. And literacy here for me starts from, say, basic secondary school is good enough. It's good enough. From that level on, you can be working, and you can work and decide that, okay, where you're working, you want to be able to deploy your skills. Probably you're working in an office where you have extra time. You can do a poultry at home. That's entrepreneurial enough. Or you can be a worker and you close at 5 o'clock. Then in the evening, you might start to mend a few clothes and make a few designs for fashion. That's entrepreneurship. So one doesn't have to be, but you must devote time. And that's why if you're working full time and you want to start a business, sometimes I say, look, you might not be able to do the two, because it's just like having two passions. One will suffer. And if one is suffering, the other will also feel not cared for. So that's the essence. So
when the students are done taking the training, are they set up in business? Are they assisted in any way?
Not at our level. No, we don't have the resources to set up people. But we normally link them up with resource availability. For instance, we call them participants. If somebody participates in our training program, for instance, last year we targeted the training to coincide with the UWIN. And so those who did our training programs were able to apply for the UWIN, and some of them were able to get the UWIN, which is a federal government grant that gives between 1 and 10 million naira for people to start their own business. So since there's so many of these grants available, we lead people, channel people to those grants, but we do not have what's called a fund available. For time, maybe we can raise that kind of fund, but for now, we feel that the best fund we can give somebody is the skills and the knowledge first. Yes.
Okay, how has the Just Business School been able to address the issue of unemployment amongst the youth since after the crisis?
Right. We've worked with several partners to do a number of programs, including the government of Plateau. We had a partnership with them at a point to do youth entrepreneurship for unemployed people, although that was just knowledge. There's also those people that applied for some of the schemes available, like the cooperative lending scheme. We train them. We also train people on behalf of the federal government for the graduate internship scheme. We are the trainers for Plateau and Gombe State. So through us, the federal government trains young graduates who are unemployed, and we guide them to apply. And when they apply on the platform, they are selected. They are paid every month 30,000 naira by the federal government. So that kind of keeps them off the streets. And also the basic trainings we do. We have a number of our products who have come out, the skills they've learned, they go and start a small business, they come and call me and say, oh, God, I've started this business, come and have a look at it. And if it's doing well, we sometimes assist the person in our own way. We don't make it like a scheme, but the person will know the assistance we've given the person, and then you take it from there and move on.
And what do you have to say about the act of philanthropism in Nigeria?
Well, I think we've not yet caught up with what's called philanthropism and volunteering in this country as I expected. Nigeria is blessed with a number of very high net worth people, both individuals, organizations, and we're not talking of billionaires, we're talking of individuals in the middle level cadre. There are hundreds and hundreds of people today in Nigeria that you can say God has blessed them in several many ways. The culture has not sunk in. We believe that philanthropy is to give to your family. It's not about family. So people save, they build legacy and build houses for their children. They say, oh, I'm building for my family, I'm living for this. That's not philanthropy. Philanthropy is about doing to people that you don't even know. People who are in need don't even know, and you don't even want them to know you did this. And so I believe that that's philanthropy. Most of the organizations today, the international development partners that are busy working in our streets, in our villages to provide water, health clinic, and maternity services for people have sponsored by individuals in very many Western countries, and they don't even know the people benefiting from these services. So that's my idea of philanthropy. I think that if philanthropy is said that if I'm going to give something, God has blessed me with, say, 1,000 things, and I take maybe 10% of that and give us tithe, and then some other portion I say, okay, I give this to philanthropy. First and foremost, people should know that portion. And secondly, that's my thinking. Secondly, and people should, I don't even want to know who got it. That's my thinking, because once I know who got it, it's no longer a blessing to me, because I will be, each time I see him on the street, I'll beat my chest and say, I made that person, and you already got my reward here. So I don't want to get rewarded here on this part of the world.
Regarding the Just Business School, how has it been embraced here? Has it been accepted? Are people open to it? Are they responding to it?
Yeah, we are still on baby steps, like we call it. We're early days. In terms of development, we're just about 6 years old. So there's still the learning curve is still steep in terms of people knowing about us first, and people also accepting who we are. And in this environment that I come from, people are yet to get the basic fact that learning and training and knowledge is an investment. People see it as a cost. And so they look at it in terms of how costly is it to attend your course, not how much investment am I making towards my future. They're two different things here. So when people begin to see it as a cost to themselves, then their acceptance will be very low. And so somebody else has to sponsor them before they go for such training. So we do not have what's called wide acceptance. For societies like Lagos and Port Harcourt and maybe Abuja to an extent, so whatever amount they're spending, they look at it as an investment towards a better tomorrow. For us, we've not yet reached that point in this state and in this society, in this region. But we're getting there gradually. We just did a program recently, and one individual who is not very rich coughed out a large amount of money to attend the program. And I felt challenged that if a lady who can take out her own money and attend a program like this and pay for it, then, I mean, change is taking place gradually. It may not be a flood of people walking to Just Business School and asking for programs. We don't have that happening. But we have trickles. One person dropping, two people dropping, three people dropping. And I know that the ocean is filled by trickles and drops. And so one day it's going to be filled, yes.
But so don't you think it's because of the cost?
No, I don't think. An average program, for instance, in Lagos Business School, by the way, I associate myself with Lagos Business School a lot because we handle entrepreneurship programs together with them, and we do a lot of programs together with them. I'm learning from them how they've achieved so much within a short time. They are one of the best placed schools in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And for them, if you go to Lagos Business School to do a one-day program, you're talking of sometimes up to 20,000 naira for a one-day program. So if we charge 20,000 for a 5-day program, we think it's a very cheap for somebody to attend. So we're not looking at it from the cost perspective. So people are looking at the value addition to their lives after the knowledge. So I think that's the point I'm making.
The Loveling Class Show is more than a talk show. It is actually a movement that has come to stay.
When I was a maid, he was there. And he said he would do it, and he did it.
Never make music or acting or anything, any other vocation, an alternative to education.
I love this show. I really, really love this show because it is an opportunity for me to serve. And it's an opportunity for me to call other people to serve.
It's the Lovely Clash Show.
We just want to say thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for what you just explained to us. See, on this show, what we seek or what we celebrate are people who are giving back to the society. And I know that I'm aware that from time to time you give an open class to certain individuals, you know, to come run the program for free. I'd like to know what level of individuals do you give this to?
Yeah, we give for youth. We do that a lot. For women, we did, for instance, we did for widows, widows who are literate because they have to be literate enough to understand and to follow the training. We do that. We do that, and we can do lots of free training for widows and for youth and also for individuals who are unemployed. We do that. We can do free trainings for them. Then sometimes we institute in the training a competition. And then we can say, okay, the best performing person in this training will go home with this package. We would not be able to announce the package on air. Normally, yes, we don't do that. Yes, but we can institute it. We can say that, okay, the best person who performed out will get this package. And we've done that a couple of times. When I trained the youth about a year ago, I selected, they were unemployed youth, but they were graduates. And there were just 10 in the class. I selected the best out of that, and I said, look, we're going to assist you in this regard, and we did assist the person. And today the person is doing very well, and but the person didn't know how we assisted because we didn't want the person to know where the assistance came from. Yeah, so that the person wouldn't begin to owe us gratitude. Okay. Yeah, we don't think gratitude come back to us. You go back to God. Yes.
Talking to you off camera, you said you have something to give on this platform, but you wouldn't want to announce it like you just said now. You're a man who likes to work from behind closed doors. But we really appreciate that opportunity you will give to us, or that I know there's something we talked about, but you don't want it to be mentioned here.
Yes.
Okay. But we really appreciate that, and we would use it. We would take it to those that need it the most, because not everybody is tag as qualified. What do I mean? Not because anybody is disqualified, but if somebody can afford it, we don't see why we should give it to you.
Right.
We're giving it to the best who can't afford it.
Right.
So we're going to make use of this opportunity very well.
Okay.
Yeah, the person wouldn't know, like you said.
Right.
The person won't know about it. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for contributing to the society in this way.
Thank you.
For making a great impact, and people hearing the likes of you saying all of this, I'm sure they will be challenged and encouraged to want to do the same thing, so that our society will be a better place to live in.
Thank you
very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you.
That is all we have for you on the show today. Life is all about giving, and the best we can do for anyone is to give to them, make an impact, so that they will have a future they can look up to, and then in turn give back to someone. That is what the Love the English Show is all about. And so we'll expect more people to come on board to contribute their quota and make our society a better place to live in. Because truth, the government can't do it all. Let us all join forces with the government to make our society a better place. Thank you.
It's the Lovely Clash Show. It's the Lovely